Hello and welcome to another cue breakdown. Today we're going to look at a soft rock, but it's piano driven. And don't forget, I'll put a list above to loads more of these cue breakdowns if that's your sort of thing. And don't forget, like and subscribe. Always appreciated. What I'll do is play it through for you and then I'll come back and show you how I put it together. Okay, so how do you put a cue like this together? Well, bear in mind that I would have started off basically writing this end section, as it turns out now, first. So I would have put the piano, I would put all the strings in, all the brass, and that would have been the start of my sketch. Then I would come back to the beginning and take things out. So it becomes an intro. And then you can see pretty visually that different layers build as we go through the track. And there's a breakdown section in the middle here where we change from the piano to the organ. So let's just go through each of these. We've got the piano track. And again, actually, just by looking at it in terms of notes, you can see we've got held notes to start with. Then we build up the intensity of the notes. So that's what gives it the forward momentum. So we've got those held notes, sustained notes to start with. So building, and that's pretty much what happens for the rest of the song. Actually, when we change to the organ in the breakdown, I've done this as a single note melody, so it stands out on its own, but it's definitely pared back instead of doing those big chord changes in the piano. Then we've got prime bass, which is pretty much just picking out the bass line the whole way through. Now, I didn't think that was quite strong enough, so I actually put the cello in with it. So it's sort of boosting that low end, but instead of using another bass, just, well, the cello is a sort of bass sound, isn't it? Then we've got Sunburst guitar. So I've actually mixed these quite low in the mix because they are MIDI instruments. So can sound a bit fake if they stand out too much. Quite like that though. Then we've got Strummed Acoustic, which comes in. Fast strumming, but what I've done is I've automated the volume so it doesn't come straight in and hit you. It does gradually come in, and I've done that throughout. The automation is something I tend to go back to at the end when I'm mixing everything together. Then we've got BBC SO violins 1, 2, cello and viola. We've already seen that first cello part, but at the end all we are doing is picking a different note from the chord that's being played and assigning the top one to violin 1, next to violin 2, then cello and viola. So that's basically how the strings are put together. As you can see, again, they're layered to come in. So from the second half of the sort of B section, we let the viola introduce itself, then add the violin 2, and then so on. So again, it's all down to layering. Then we've got the two brass sections. We've got the hairpins. This is from Albion Colossus, which I really like. And then Abbey Road 1, these are the short trumpets. Really like those. I've got the classic BBC SO cymbals doing their typical introductions. And finally, we've actually got Logic Drummer. Now this is actually created in a previous version of Logic, so you can't actually see the settings. But the key thing about using Drummer is remember to go through and change the different settings, change which of the drums are being played at what time, mess about with the different lengths. So for example, to start with, we've just got the hi-hats going. Then if you turn the fill level up a little bit, you get a fill at the end. So now we've got the kick and snare in. But this time you'll notice there's more of a fill in the middle. So just by changing the settings a little bit, it makes it more authentic. In the breakdown, we go back to just hi-hats. We have a little fill, and then go to the toms building. And again, I've automated these to build in intensity, so just automated the volume until we get back to the main rhythm. So in terms of automation, you can see, well, the piano automation, that's just the foot switch. The organ, again, that slowly builds in. The bass is actually minus 6.6, but that sits quite nicely across the whole mix. The Sunburst guitar, again, for the middle section, we drop it down and then slowly build it back up again. The Strummed Acoustic, like I've said, we introduce that because it's quite fast rhythm that you notice. So each time it comes in, I've automated the volume. The strings were fine, but that's mainly because they're doing their job of building on top of each other. So they're sort of building in volume by the fact that there are more of them. The hairpins, yep, they were introduced at a lower volume and then up to the level that I'd mixed it at. And the shorts. So just to give them a bit of a boost at the end, we've lifted the volume. And back to the drums. In terms of the actual mixing, you can see I've got Air Studio on its own channel here, just on the hall setting. So that's at 0 and it's on bus 20. So what you can see is I've put sends to bus 20 on all the tracks and then adjusted their level so a different amount goes into the hall reverb, which is a nice quick way of adding your reverb. Instead of having to go through each one, obviously you just put it to the one channel strip, and if you ever need to change that or you need to output it as a stem, separate stem, you could do. So there you go. I'll play it through again for you because you'll probably hear loads more different parts now that you know actually what's in it. So thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, always appreciated. See you in the next one. Bye for now.